Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. This is the day the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Um, I want to talk to you about what the Lord had me in at this time. Also, the Lord telling me that His promises are never slacked, and a lot of people will be missing out. A lot of people will be missing out on their promises because they'll be listening to evil counsels. They'll be listening to ungodly wisdom. Um, the Lord also been telling me about manipulators. How many people are listening to folks. They say they prophesying, but they prophesying, telling lying prophecies. People doing dream interpretations. Um, People seeking every wisdom except for seeking the wisdom of the Lord and getting evil counsels. And they will lead you off on your path of unrighteousness, lead you to unholiness, and also have you to miss out on your promises that God has for you. We need to seek God at all times. So the Lord been telling me about wisdom. Let me give you this, and also be careful with He said ungodly counsels, because we listen to you listen to people. People will have you on a stir. People doing so much now, pushing this, doing politics, pulling on your heartstrings, having you go into violence and having people go into violence. I ain't gonna say you, having people to go into violence and different stuff, leading people far from God. So the Lord just gave me Proverbs 1. And we're going to start at 8. It says, "My son, hear the instructions of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. For they will be a graceful ointment on your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they come with us, let us lie and wait to shed blood. Let us lurk secretly for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and hold like those who go down to the pit. We shall find all kinds of precious possessions. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Let us all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep their foot from their paths, and their feet run to evil. And they make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. They shall lie in wait for their own blood. They lurk secretly for their own lives, so are the ways of everyone who is greedy for gain. It takes away the life of his owners. Because a lot of people are doing stuff for money and gain, y'all. Yeah, and you gotta understand, a lot of people also having people to join them. Like, be careful who you in agreement with. Be careful who you joining on teams with people. A lot of these people are witches and doing all kind of stuff and have you working against Christ. A lot of people also joining in these conferences. They gotta have you gotta be careful. People want to join in conferences, want to do they want to be so popular, they join any group and just don't know that these people working with Satan will lead you into a ditch. You got to be careful whoever you mingling with. You got to be careful of who you listening to, you got to be careful with everything, y'all. People are in for gain. And people with money, times are getting so hard, people would jump on any team, work with anything, with anybody, do anything, just for money, for greed. Join all these groups, and you think we got to pray about everything and everybody, y'all. You'll be working, be a teammate for Satan. And that's what they're doing. They're converting people over. People are compromising and jumping over to the other team. Some doing it blindly and some doing it willingly, but people not seeking his wisdom. And then when they get the word from God and God rebuke them, they forget about God. They don't worry about it. They don't have fear of God. God is calling a lot of people out of this, and they still not listening. And this how you miss out on your destiny, your purpose. Your works are with the hand of the enemy. Joining the other team, we got to be careful. People will lead you into the pit of hell. And your main promise is having everlasting life with the Lord. And the Lord was telling me, be careful of evil counsels. This is why He always telling me to be careful who you watch, who you pay attention and listen to. And even though some sisters and brothers, they be on the same path, and they might hear the same, like they preaching the word, but You got to get the understanding that God give you. A word God got for you might not be for me. You never know what people mindset are, what people heart is, what they hold agenda, but God see the heart of all men. You will miss out on your promises. We're going into the point of people doing hate, gonna have people shedding blood. It's gonna be so much going on, y'all. Keep our eyes on the Lord and shun to evil counsels. And he said, cry out to wisdom, a call for wisdom. Wisdom calls aloud us outside. She raises her voice in the open squares. She cries out in the chief concourses, at the opening of the gates. In this city, she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in their own scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn at my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called and you have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no one regards, because you are disdained all my counsels, and you have none of my rebuke. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your terror comes. When your terror comes like a storm, and your destruction comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish comes upon you. Look at this. The Lord talking about a storm. When your terror comes like a storm. He just gave me this. Because the Lord told me a lot of people not listening to the Lord. That's why we got to be careful listening to people, y'all. Listen to the Lord. It said, when your terror comes like a storm, and your destruction comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish comes upon you, then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will call for wisdom, and they will not answer. And that's the Lord, the Holy Spirit, and God's wisdom. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me, because they hate knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They would have none of my counsel and despise my evil rebukes. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way and be filled to the full with their own fancies. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complicity of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely and will be secure without fear of evil. Y'all, we got to stay close to the Lord. And the Lord also been having me up into Psalms too, y'all. Because we're in a spiritual warfare. You have to be careful. Satan comes like an angel of light, and he have his agents to knock you off your purpose, to knock you off your to knock you off your promises, to distract you, to throw you off of everything the Lord has for you. Because God said you will see the goodness of the Lord while you living. You will see the goodness of the Lord while you living. While we here now, you still will see the goodness of the Lord, but also when you go to everlasting life. God promises is not slack. And he's talking about a storm. He's trying to protect a lot of us from going in the storm. And even though storms come, but God allows storms to happen so we can keep our eye on him. Our relationship be close to him. Because if a storm don't come, you don't know who your God is. You don't know who God is. It helps us build our faith, our relationship. It give us wisdom. It give us knowledge. It have you be able to know God's voice. But also in the midst of the storm, he won't even answer. Because people not listening to him. Y'all, the Lord just gave me this Proverbs. And I've been trying to do this video right here for a minute. But Satan don't even want this done. But pray to God about everything, everybody. Let the word be a lamp unto our feet. And let God guide us. And his wisdom. In the beginning was wisdom. In the beginning was God. And God spoke wisdom. But wisdom is needed in this time because you got to be careful. Following folks will have you fall into the pit of hell. And giving you wrong interpretations, giving you wrong prophesies, lying prophecies, giving you the wrong word will guide you out of your promises just not for the goodness of the Lord that he give us on earth right now while you living, but after life. When you leave here, where are you going to go? Everlasting life, your promises. Satan come to kill, steal, and destroy. But God come to give us life and heaven more abundantly. And God, when you talk to people, they understand it might not be the same understanding as God. The knowledge, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, we need to seek God all the time. Because the Lord been talking to me also about interpretation of dreams. Because at one time, I know when a dream or something, I'm looking up what a dream mean, what this in a dream, or I ask somebody, and it can throw you off of something else that God's telling you, and God telling me to seek him. So God has me out to myself, because the Lord also been telling me about tearing down idols. We seek everything and everybody except for seeking the Lord, and we need to seek the Lord. And it's not that we don't love people or we dislike them. It's just that you have to have time with the Lord. You got to get to know the Lord for yourself. So may this help somebody, y'all. Don't miss out on your promises. Don't miss out on your blessing. God promises not slack. Your promises while you living, and your promise to everlasting life. Don't miss out on it. And ask God for wisdom. And he give you, it said, the Lord, discernment. We need wisdom in everything. Seek the Lord first. And everything we do and everything else which shall be added unto us. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all things will be added unto us. Because people leading you into unholiness, unrighteousness, ungodliness, it's unholiness. It's just so much leading you from God. And then some of them might not do it with evil intent, but it's because of lack of knowledge. Because you have a relationship with God. God tell each one of us, your purpose is not the same purpose as theirs. Your walk is not as the same as theirs. God taught to us all in a different matter. We might have some things in common, but we all have a purpose. So may this help y'all. Y'all spend some quality time with the Lord. Y'all be blessed.